we are waiting on the X Division champion from TNA. That's Total Nonstop Action.
It's 10 times. 10 times.
Damn right. 10-time champion.
That's some long.
Chris Sabin. Yeah. Chris Sabin, by the way, to me,
he's an OG. He's an OG
he's been there since I was getting these. They used to have, and I mean, we'll talk about this when they call, but they used to have when they were, the company was starting out, they used to have Wednesday night pay-per-views for like $10
from
Nashville, from
Tennessee,
yeah,
and you could watch the pay-per-view. And Sabin was back then kicking ass, taking names. So he's been in this company back and forth. He's been in other companies too, but he's been busting his ass. To me, he is the X Division. The X Division, by the way, is they say it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. To me, it is smaller guys. However, it's just different fighting styles. A lot of springboard, a lot of lucha libre, a lot of mixed kind of wrestling attributes.
But it was one of the best concept created because it's like the match itself, how you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
You have to be athletic. But Samoa Joe, which he weighed, in the 280s?
Yeah.
At that time, he was lighter, but he was able to actually go up the rope and get the X.
Yeah.
To win
the man who is the AEW World Heavyweight Champion right now was a former X Division World Champion. So it shows you that it is about weight. It's not about weight limits. It's about no limits. I mean, it's not just a tagline.
It's about ability.
It's about ability.
But he was one of the originals when he did the lockdown steel cage.
Yeah.
They didn't do
6 sides of steel.
The 6 sides of steel, but didn't they do like almost an X Division type of thing for the 6 sides of steel, if I remember correctly?
Well, they would do X Escape.
Yeah.
They would do a whole bunch. There was a lot of this company, TNA, which used to exist and then became Impact Wrestling because people like Joe will go, doesn't TNA mean tits and ass?
I did to me.
And so what they did was when Hulk Hogan was there, Hulk Hogan literally was like, oh, you guys want to market it, you got to change the name, and the name's not going to work, and blah, 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 blah.
The ring, everything.
Yeah, he changed everything. He changed the heart and soul of the goddamn product, which was stupid, and then he took off with the money and he left. So, as such, you have things of this nature which changed the whole business, and now TNA's back. Well, let's see what we got here. It's the Ham Radio Show. Who's this?
Hello, this is Chris Sabin.
Hey, Chris Sabin. Normally it's Ross, and he yells at us and says, hey, you guys ready? Come on. How are you, Chris?
Yeah, he just had me call. I'm doing well. How are you?
Dude, we're freaking stoked that you're here, dude. We are literally excited. We got Hard to Kill this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Live in Vegas.
New TNA rebranding.
Damn right. The TNA brand is back. The Total Nonstop Action name, we were just talking about it. How certain people who shall remain nameless, brother, maybe went out of their way to try to change the look and the feel of the company to do something else. And now you went back to basics. You went back to what made that company stick out like the sore thumb that it needed to be when it was trying to build its own brand. And now how many years has TNA been around?
Well, it's been around. It first started in 2002, so we're going on our 22nd year here.
Woo! Definitely not a flash in the pan. Not a flash in the pan, folks.
He's an OG. He's an OG.
Well, I was saying it before. If you trace everything back, Chris Sabin, because I said I go back all the way back. By the way, Chris Sabin, the X Division champion, 10-time champion, by the way. For TNA. For more information, go to TNAWrestling.com for further details. I was saying this before. I've been around with Total Nonstop Action when they had the Wednesday night pay-per-views. When you had to pay $10 to watch on Wednesday night. $9.99. You'd sit there, you watch Jarrett, you watch Sanjay Dutt, you watch Chris Sabin, you watch America's Most Wanted. All the names that were associated with the project, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, all these names. But to me, Frankie Kazarian, I mean, the list goes on and on. Eric Young, the list goes on and on. But the thing about Chris Sabin, and it gets me because I was doing the math, Chris Sabin has held this title now 10 times. He literally is the X division. He is like, they should have a T-shirt that says X equals Sabin. Because when you do the math, this guy is the X division. He is legitimately been there since he was a young whippersnapper, slightly a little older now, one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, 1/3 of, what is that now? What do you guys, what's the new one now?
Time Machine.
Time Machine, thank you. I didn't want to get any copyright things yelled at me. I didn't want to throw in a DeLorean and get yelled at. So, you're 1/3 of that. You've been around doing this for umpteen years. X equals Sabin is money, because that's exactly what you are. If you do all the math, you've held the title more than AJ. You've held the title more than Samoa Joe. You've held the title more than anybody who has ever been in an X Division match. That's unprecedented. How does it feel to be a legend that could still go?
Well, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. It's one thing that we try to do as pro wrestlers, or I think like a lot of wrestlers' dreams, right? You want to build a legacy of some sort, however that may be, whether it's being world champion multiple times, whatever it may be. And I think that I have been able to relate my name now. When people think of the X Division, I hope they think of Chris Sabin. And that's my own personal legacy. That could be my personal legacy that I leave on pro wrestling. And I think that's pretty cool. The X Division has given me a chance to do that. And, I'm 41 now, all right, and I started with TNA when I was 21 years old. So I've been wrestling for this company for quite a while. I turn 42 next month. Who knows? Hopefully I'll become a 20-time champion, and it'll be XX equals Sabin. You never know.
What pisses me off about Chris Sabin, he just said he was 41. Chris Sabin has been thrown into things. He's been body slammed, power bombed, thrown off things, set on fire, thrown through tables, all kinds of stuff. Still looks better than me. I'm 44. Chris Sabin is 41. He should look like shit. I should look awesome. He should look like, this man has been through hell and back.
Well, you look like shit, Eddie.
I do.
That's more conditioning.
I look like the ring he wrestles in. That's not right.
Well, I have no comment, sir. I do not know what you look like. We are just talking on the phone. There's no video to this.
Well, thank you, sir.
I'm sure you look good, sir.
Chris, I imagine George Clooney if he was hit by a car. There you go. And he's swollen up a little bit. All right, so now, what does the return of TNA, though, the fundamental, actual 3 letters, the T, the N, and the A, total nonstop action, mean to you? Because you have been there pretty much since day one, the whole ride that you've been there, and you've seen it change into Impact Wrestling. I think you were even there when it was GFW for a week. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been there. You've done that. You got the T-shirt. Yeah. What does it feel like to now being the guy walking in to Las Vegas at Hard to Kill, being the X Division champion, being the TNA X Division champion? What does that TNA rebranding back home mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. I'm super excited. It's like I really enjoyed the Impact Wrestling years when we went under the name Impact Wrestling. I left TNA behind. I think that it was a really important and special time in the company, but at the same time, throughout that entire time we were called Impact Wrestling, it was almost like our identity as a company was always tied up with the letters TNA. So even trying to describe Impact Wrestling to someone, or trying to describe it to a wrestling fan, like, oh, do you know Impact Wrestling? Well, it used to be TNA. And, it was always kind of described that way. Well, do you remember TNA? Well, now it's Impact Wrestling. So I think the letters TNA have always been part of the legacy, always been part of the identity of Impact Wrestling. So, I mean, I think this is the best thing possible for the company. And, hopefully there might be some people out there that watched TNA back in the day that might not have realized we rebranded as Impact, and then they'll find something, oh, look, TNA Wrestling's back, and then, maybe spark their interest, and they'll want to, start watching again, and then they can realize that, oh, it was Impact Wrestling the entire time. So hopefully we can bring back some old fans and create some new fans. And, I think, 3 letters as far as a wrestling promotion goes. All wrestling promotions have 3 letters for the most part. I think it's just like kind of a normal expectation from people when it comes to pro wrestling companies. So
it also helps.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing.
It also helps with the chants. Because, Impact Wrestling doesn't have the same, oomph as TNA, TNA, TNA. It doesn't have that same guttural feel as it's going to echo through Vegas this weekend, live on pay-per-view, Hard to Kill, this Saturday, 8 p.m., TNA returns. And, by the way, the next night over, you have the tapings. Am I correct? You have the next night over, we have the tapings for Snake Eyes is the next night.
Yeah, Snake Eyes, yep.
So that's going to be back-to-back. You have the 13th and the 14th. You have one hell of by the way, which is, I believe, headlined. Snake Eyes is headlined by Josh Alexander taking on Ospreay. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right. That's right, man. That's going to be a can't-miss match.
No, the one can't-miss match, I'm telling you, and I'm not kissing your ass just because you're on my show. By the way, we're talking to Chris Sabin, the X Division champion. Is this match intrigues me so much. The match that you're in, the X Division title match, is a 3-way match. You're taking on the other third of Time Machine, Kushida, who's a friend, an ally, a confidant, a guy that you know and love. He's like a brother to you. And then on the other side, too, you got from AAA, you got Vikingo.
El hijo de Vikingo.
Yeah. You say it in Espanol.
El hijo de Vikingo.
I just call him Vic. Vikingo is, without question, insane. Like, he literally is just, like he's on cocaine. He just bounces off everything. He's all over the place. This match, to me, has three different kind of fan bases here. You have the Chris Sabin, the mainstay, the X Division, the standard bearer. So you have that thing. Then you got Kushida, who blends high flying with kind of a ground game. Then you got Vikingo, who is all over the place. It's going to be springboards. There's going to be arm locks. This match is crazy. What do you do to prepare for damn near 2 different fighting styles that you have to actually go against, and your title's on the line?
Yeah, I mean, this one's definitely going to be tough. I mean, I can prepare for Kushida a lot better than I can prepare for Vikingo. Kushida, obviously, like you said, he's one of my buddies. We're part of Time Machine. He's been a tag team partner, a friend for many, many years. So Kushida, I feel a little more comfortable preparing for. But Vikingo, see, I like to compare Vikingo to like Rey Mysterio, for example. Like Rey Mysterio Jr. back in the day, all it took was one Rey Mysterio Jr. match, and then him and he blew you away.
Absolutely,
one. Like he's doing the most ridiculous stuff that you've never seen before. Vikingo is like the modern day Rey Mysterio Jr. to me. Like all it takes is seeing this guy perform one time, and he absolutely blows you away. So I mean, it's going to be difficult to prepare for that. I mean, he's just ridiculously talented, and but I'll do my best. I'm Chris Sabin and try to come out as champion.
And he's modest too. I'm going to do my best. I'm Chris Sabin. So there you go.
So at 24 years old, Vikingo going up against 2 people in their early 40s.
The elder statesman. Is that what you're trying to say?
Preparing for that is going to be kind of difficult. Are you going to be able to go toe to toe with Vikingo when it comes to the high flying?
Yeah, but have you seen Chris?
I've seen Chris.
Chris is very fast for a 41-year-old.
But the high flying is going to be something that's going to be amazing for the
the death-defying, the crazy Rey Mysterio type-esque, as Chris was pointing out, Vikingo moves. To me, that's what I'm saying. To me, this is the match of the night because it's 3 different. First off, the X Division carries the company. We all know this. We've said it numerous times. To have 3 ridiculous different types of fighting. You got lucha libre. You got Japanese strong style mixed with some lucha libre. You got Chris Sabin, who brings a blend of everything. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He knows how to be technical. He knows how to be high flying. The man was also the world heavyweight champion in TNA. A lot of people don't remember that, but he was. So the guy can do a lot of stuff. to me, match of the night right here. And that's not just because Chris is on the show. It's match of the night to me. I want to know how the hell Chris is going to defend against any of this. That's just my personal... I want to watch it just for that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. I mean, we're going to do our best to steal the show, but I know, this is the first TNA show in so many years, and the first show of the year for us. I know everybody's going to want to step up and steal the show that night. So, I mean, I think you're getting for something special this time.
All right, so can you let us in... Chris, I mean, I think we know each other now. I think we're pals. I mean, you called us up. I got you. You're calling here at the station. We're talking. Maybe just a little. You let us in on some of the secrets that are going on because we hear a lot of stuff is going on at Hard to Kill. For example, while you think about what you want to tell us. For example, friend of me, friend of the John over here, friend of Ricky in the studio. DJ Who Kid will be in attendance at Hard to Kill, live on pay-per-view. He is helping out AJ Francis, debut a video. AJ Francis used to come from another wrestling company. Now he's here in TNA. Who knows what that's going to bring? That's a little bit of a sprinkle of a little hot sauce on these grits. Let's figure out what we're going to do next. So if maybe Chris Sabin, the 10-time X Division champion, wants to let us in on maybe like somebody else that just happens to be there that maybe no one has, said a word about. Anything?
Well, I wish I could, but I'm telling you the honest truth when I say that I don't know. I honestly do not know.
Do they keep it?
I wish I could even give you a hint. I can't.
Do they keep it from you, Chris, or do they spring it on you guys too? Just because nowadays it's very hard to keep secrets like that.
Yes, and I think that's exactly why, right? It's not that they can necessarily. There's people that they can't trust, but it's like you just never know.
Yeah, it's the internet.
Enough people that might get out. So, yeah, exactly. So yeah, they just keep it tight-lipped across the board.
All right.
How you doing, Mr. Sabin? I have a question. 6-sided ring.
Is it ever coming back?
What's your feeling about that? I know you're one of the originators when it came to the X Division, the X Destination X. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I like the 6-sided ring personally. There's one thing I didn't like about it, and that was the fact that the ring mat was a lot harder, so the bumps you would take would actually hurt more. I don't think there's any plans on going back to it. Definitely if you're like flipping through the channels and you see like some pro wrestling happening inside of a 6-sided ring, right? That's an eye catcher. That'll get people to like stop and say, "Whoa, what's that?" So, yeah, so I definitely like that aspect of it. But TNA is kind of a traditional wrestling company in the sense of how our roster is. I think that the kind of show and the kind of presentation that we have to make ourselves different from like AEW or WWE, for example, is that we have such a like variety, but we're also kind of like a classic pro wrestling show with these easy to digest storylines and like just so. But if they wanted to go back to the 6-sided ring, I would be completely cool with it. I would hope that they maybe like get one built that would have a little softer of a bump, just because it was really rough, like taking bumps in that thing.
Well, maybe for like a special event, maybe you guys once you get everything TNA settled and you guys are doing the monthly pay-per-views again and you get everything, maybe a strictly X Division, maybe bring back Destination X.
For me,
one night.
Yeah, for sure. That could be an idea right there. So you never know. I mean, I would be down. I think it would be cool to bring it back for at least one night, though. Maybe one special pay-per-view or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, for me was when you guys did the six
sides of steel.
The 6 sides of steel. That was the visual when it came to that 6-sided ring. That's what made, I think, in my opinion, it made TNA. TNA, when it grasped me TNA, when I saw that 6-sided ring, and that felt special.
Well,
in this time of age, I feel that you guys will stand out from AEW, from the WWE, and could be maybe number 2 promotion and push AEW back. Because that ring was that everybody knew TNA was the 6-sided ring.
Well, I think the wrestling also brings them up a notch. I mean, quite frankly, the TNA does live up to total nonstop action. It lives up to the moniker. where we can actually sit there and go, this match is effing great, and then I know that the main event is even better. You know what I mean? Like, it just keeps going on and on and on. Chris, I got to ask, though, do you think that you will ever wrestle some of the guys that you wrestled before? Because, like, a lot of people are going to get TNA Plus, that streaming service that you guys have, which, by the way, the pre-show is on exclusively on the 13th, just to watch some of your greatest hits. Do you think you're ever going to face some of the greatest guys that you've ever been in the ring with again? Because, like, Marcus in Facebook Live is talking about you having great matches with Low-Key.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What do you is there a wish list that you have, being the 10-time X Division champion?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to make a prediction right here on your show.
Uh-oh.
Within the next 5 years, I'm betting that some people who helped make TNA what it is, that don't work here now and haven't worked here in years, that some people who helped make TNA what it is will return within the next 5 years.
I agree.
Important people, top people. I think that this whole rebranding, I'm predicting it will go extremely well for us, and everyone's going to step up, and people are going to remember what TNA used to be, and they're going to realize how good it is now. And I think within 5 years, that we'll have some pretty big returns.
Dude, as a fan, I'm telling you right now, I've never been more excited for a TNA / Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it at that time frame, but a TNA pay-per-view. I am so freaking excited about Saturday night, January 13th, live on pay-per-view. By the way, 13, my lucky number, so I'm automatically excited. The return of a company that I feel like I was a part of. I say that to Ross all the time. I feel like I was a part of it because, quite frankly, like I said, growing up when there wasn't an alternative. You guys, a lot of people don't remember. There was this big company called the WWE and WWF at the time. They bought all their competition. So like Godzilla, they went and took down everybody. And then from the ashes of a once great wrestling world came TNA, a company that actually was giving them a damn run for their money. TNA, who went out and innovated stuff that people, you can't do this, nothing's new in wrestling, blah, blah, blah. You telling me Ultimate X was ever done before TNA? No. You know what I mean? Like, are you telling me the Six Sides of Steel was ever done before TNA? No. You're telling me all the things that TNA innovated and that other people now take for granted in other companies because they try to freaking redo things.
And they took chances on quote-unquote unknown talent. Guys would show up and go like, hi, I want to work here. Okay. And those names would go on to be great names. You know. Like they go on to be headliners. Some of which would go on, like Mr. Sabin here, to beat Bully Ray and become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all things that give, to me, TNA the clout and give TNA the true name as the alternative. So, what? Like, you can watch your WWEs. You can watch your AEWs. No one's telling you not to. Watch New Japan. Who cares? But if you're not checking out TNA, which is the true wrestling alternative, like it was back in the day, like it still is now, then you're out of your freaking mind. If you don't watch it, you're out of your freaking mind. And to have Chris Sabin on the show, the 10-time X Division champion, remember, X equals Sabin. I better see the shirt. X equals Sabin. With a lot of numbers on it, but X equals Sabin.
Scott D'Amore is already
Scott D'Amore is already making the shirt up as we speak. He'll have it by Saturday. We'll see it. It'll be written, it'll be done, it'll be great. But I'm telling you right now, if you're not watching this weekend, I know we got to get going. I know you have a question. Give them a question before we go.
One thing I want to know, New Japan, will we ever see the Motor City Machine Guns back in New Japan, at least going one more time, not for the junior weight.
For the IWGP?
The IWGP.
Well, I don't know about what title we'll be going after, but I can definitely say I guarantee you will see the Motor City Machine Guns back in New Japan Pro Wrestling this year.
Beautiful.
And what about Pro Gorilla?
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure. I haven't worked there I haven't wored there.
Is that place still
Last
running?
time I worked there was.
You do have a couple of shows.
Yeah. I guess they're still running. Yeah, but man, I wouldn't put any stock into that. I'm not going to say anything about Pro Wrestling Guerrilla but I will say definitely yes, 100%. We will be back in New Japan.
So Wrestle Kingdom next year, we will see Motor City Machine Gun.
Do not put him on the spot. He wouldn't tell me some of the stuff behind the scenes.
Wrestle Kingdom this year was not the greatest for me. I got up at 2:00 in the morning to watch it
because you didn't have the Motor City Machine Guns on there. You had a bunch of other teams that were trying to emulate the Motor City Machine Guns. It's not the same. Now, the one thing I will say about the Motor City Machine Guns, right before we say goodbye to Mr. Sabin, is that's the other thing I love about TNA. You have your partner, Alex Shelley, who, by the way, I call the answer Alex Shelley, because when everyone talks about every other wrestler, it's always connected to Alex Shelley. That's number one. So the answer always is Alex Shelley. And then that guy is the World Heavyweight Champion. He is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. You are the TNA X Division Champion. And they didn't split you up. You didn't have some kind of Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels in the barbershop thing. You literally just went, you're freaking talented. You're freaking talented. Let's go. You wrestle singles. I'll wrestle singles. You guys have changed the game in that vein because you wrestle singles matches. Both, gold card carrying guys now. You've wrestled tag team as the Motor City Machine Guns. And now your trios with Time Machine, with Kushida, the guy you're going to fight, well, one of the guys you're going to fight, on Saturday. It's insane because in other companies, they're afraid to do that. They don't do that. They're like, oh, no, you want to be world champion? You got to break up this tag team. Can't have this tag team BS go around. And you're like, why would you break up one of the best tag teams ever? That's what I'm saying.
I think that's one thing that's cool about us. One thing about the dynamic of the Motor City Machine Guns is we can be singles wrestlers and we can be tag team all at the same time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I mean, there doesn't have to be one or the other. We can be Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin as singles wrestlers or the Motor City Machine Guns together. Like, there isn't a weak link. You know what I mean? It's like, I think we have a really unique spot in wrestling that I'm not sure there's any tag teams, especially long-time tag teams, because we've been tagging since 2006.
Exactly.
So, it's been, 18 years of tagging. I don't think any other tag team can say that they've had as much success as singles wrestlers and a tag team as much as myself and Alex Shelley.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's a cool legacy for us to have.
That's what I'm saying. Everything, and yet again, it sounds like we're just, kissing your butts like you don't understand. But everything, that's why TNA, to me, is the true alternative. Because you're not going to get stuff like that in other companies. You're not going to get that. Somebody will sit down in a board of directors meeting going, well, Alex Shelley's, his action figure is selling more than yours. So, he'll be the world champion and you'll be, you'll just get cast off and you'll be a B player somewhere else. We'll put you with somebody else. That's usually what happens.
We'll throw you through the window of a barbershop.
Exactly.
Yeah. 2024 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, possible. I think so. 2024 Hall of Fame, the Motor City Machine Guns. Why the hell not? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Right after they make that X equals Sabin shirt, boom, Hall of Fame.
He wants his points. He wants his points on that.
I don't even want points. I just want to see him wearing it on the air. Because that happened to us that one time when we had, who was that? Oh, man. Now I forget the name of the tag team. One of the female wrestlers had, Tara, had a tag team. They were TNT. Mm-hmm. And we gave her the joke. We said, your T-shirts should say, boom goes the dynamite on the back, like above their butts. And they made the shirt. And we didn't get nothing.
There you go.
I just want front row seats. One time, what the hell? I'm not looking for money. Maybe a job at TNA. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Could it hurt?
Could it hurt?
I'll make sure you get credit if that X equals Sabin shirt pops up. I'll make sure you get credit.
Get me a nice 3X slimming. That's all I'm saying.
You got it.
The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, this man right here, 10 time. That's all your fingers. Or if you've been in a fireworks accident, your finger and a couple of toes. Chris Sabin, the 10-time X Division champion. X equals Sabin. He will be defending the title this weekend against Fakingo Kushida in Vegas. That's what you need to know. Get on the pay-per-view, push a button, go to freaking whatever you have to do to get however you get your pay-per-views nowadays. Do what you got to do, because I'm not missing it. I suggest you don't miss it. It is TNA, total nonstop action. It is hard to kill. It is going to be one hell of a night. And that's what this company has proven. This company has proven, and Chris Sabin has proven, TNA is exactly that. Hard to kill.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, congratulations. Thank you, sir. Anytime you want to come back on, feel free, sir. Round of applause for Chris Sabin.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on. This was fun, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime, Chris. Thank you, buddy.